I don't feel like we do anything in here that's cheap. I feel like all of the emotions, all of the tears, all of the joy, all of the laughter, I feel like it's earned.
I can't imagine what it's like to land a role like Morpheus, but I also can't imagine what it's like to play a personification of an idea. So what did you find was the key to bringing such a unique character to life?
The key obviously has to begin with the text, the novels themselves. There are over 2,500 pages of Sandman, which I've read multiple times, and it sort of does have the answer to every question that you might have. Having Neil by my side as a mentor, a teacher, a guide, again, who could answer every question, but also was watching every single frame of what we shot, and I said to him at the beginning, if I ever stray from what your idea of what this should be is, please tell me. And then, as you say, there is a danger when you contemplate Morpheus of getting into this abstract world. And I think that what you have to do, or what I tried to do, was to think carefully about the reality of him in a context. What does Morpheus do? He is the curator of the unconsciousness of the universe. He is the creator of our dreams. And he knows how each of us feel. And therefore, I felt that he had to be extraordinarily empathetic, but he's not someone who expresses things, definitely, in the comic. And so he's suppressing this empathy. And I found that one of the keys into him was the tension between someone who I think feels a lot, but is forcing all of that down, and because he needs that discipline to act out his duty.
Vivienne, Lucienne, Morpheus's librarian is more than just a loyal servant. She seems to really genuinely care about him. How would you describe the dynamic of their relationship and how she views him?
Morpheus and Lucienne have spent the longest time together. She is the being that he has spent the most time with. And for her, she understands the importance of the dreaming, the realm. It's a sacred place. This is where we go to dream. Our fears, our fantasies are all realized. And she understands how important this work is and the deep, detailed work that he does. So because she has this understanding and she knows him, she knows this being, she knows who he really is, and he's been captured in this most brutal, inhumane way, and he's come back and it's hardened him and he wants revenge. And I think what she does is just tries to remind him gently of who he is. She understands that the rules and regulations need to be in place to keep the universe intact, essentially. But she reminds him of his conscience and that empathy that we get from Tom so beautifully. And she's just, there in the background, very gently reminding him of who he is and how brilliant he is for this realm and to preserve that.
What is it you hope viewers take away from this first season?
I mean, I think it's dangerous to kind of be prescriptive about what people should take away. I hope they watch it, to be honest, in the sense that, I think Sandman I care about it so much. And I think it's such an extraordinary story. And this is the start of it. And I'm just excited for viewers to actually each one to take away something different, because I really think it offers something for everyone. The only thing that binds all of us, whoever we are, wherever we're from, and whatever we've seen, is that we all dream. And I think, what Sandman is, it's a story about stories. It's a story about each of our different dreams, and Morpheus is your guide through this litany of human experience. And I think everyone can find something in the different narratives of human experience that are in it.
Yeah, just going off the back of what Tom said, really, because, the Sandman is about the human condition, humanity, our deepest fears, fantasies, everything. And I think it just makes you question so much. So my hope for it is that people just watch it openly and get what they get out of it, because I don't think anyone will get exactly the same thing. That's the brilliance of this. Everyone will take something different away from it.
Because each episode is like a film.
Yeah.
It's like I love that you meet different characters, it's the different narrative arcs. It's so strange, and that's what I love about it.
But yet still all comes together.
Yeah.
Allan, the Sandman notoriously was in developmental hell for years. What did you think was the key to bringing it from the page to the screen?
Neil Gaiman was the key. Having Neil on board from the very beginning, from before the beginning, and having him available at all times, day and night, by phone or Zoom or email, that was the key to being able to tell the story successfully and authentically for us.
Neil, obviously you're involved in, this is a faithful adaptation, I think it's fair to say, and yet there are still significant changes. Which ones of those are you most excited for, and which ones were the hardest for you to accept?
You know, I don't think there were any changes that were hard for me to accept. If there had been, they wouldn't have happened. The joy of this was the joy of making television. And I got to look at making Sandman in a way that, you know, when I did the comics, I had very limited real estate to tell my story. I had 24 pages, 6 panels a page. When I got to the serial killers convention, I had 36 pages because I asked specially. But there was still story that I couldn't do. What I love about, for example, our serial killers convention is we get to do all of the time. We get to do it over 3 episodes. We get to build it. And you get to know our serial killers before we get to the convention. That is, something like that was just enormously fun. It's a change, but it actually feels absolutely right. Or, you know, what happens to Gregory in episode 2? On the one hand, it's not what happens in the comic. On the other hand, it fulfills the same function in the plot that something else in the comic fulfills, but it makes us feel and know and appreciate the stakes and see that something has just happened that actually hurts Morpheus. And it actually increases the importance and the value of bringing Goldie into the story. So for me, it's I think Allan and his collaborators did a fabulous job of putting the graphic novels onto the screen, and where it needed to become television, we all made it television.
What is it you hope viewers take away from this first season?
Hope. I would like them to take away hope. I would like them to take away that lovely, now antiquated expression from the internet, all the feels. Because what I love about this is actually, given the stoicism of Dream himself, how much raw emotion there is, how much parent to child, how many families get built and made, how many people you fall in love with. Some of them will survive this season, some of them won't. But all the time it's about caring, and it's about earning the audience's reaction. I don't feel like we do anything in here that's cheap. I feel like all of the emotions, all of the tears, all of the joy, all of the laughter, I feel like it's earned.
I mean, how can you top that?
All right, then I'll ask you this one. You go home today, you open the door, and Dream is there. Not Tom, the actual Dream has shown up. He wants to talk to you. Are you nervous? Are you terrified? What are you feeling?
I'm absolutely terrified. And I have a lot of questions for him. Yeah, but
Especially can he solve that bit of the plot of the next season that you're still stuck on?
I just want to ask about these certain moments in Brief Lives. No, we have a lot to talk about, and I hope he enjoys the show. I hope he encourages all the analysts to watch, and that they encourage everyone in each of their realms to watch, because we need everybody to watch.
Well, thank you both very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
So
you.
welcome.